For the past few years, I've been through a lot, and most of it had to do with loss. I lost first my father, and then a few years later, my mother, and then this year, my oldest brother. And when my father passed away, we were close, and it affected me, but it did not affect me the way the loss of my mother did, because my mother and I were very close, and I had a hard time dealing with it, and I just couldn't grasp why she was gone and how she could not be there anymore. I know where she was after she passed. I know where she went because she was a woman of faith. But it was just hard for me because I was left here, and I had a hard time dealing with that. And I couldn't accept that she was gone. So I took think about a year before I just came to grips with I need to have peace with what is and what is no more. And so I just had to pray and ask God, God, because it was hard for me. If anybody's lost their mother, that's a great loss. And then when my brother passed away this year, that was another hard one because I have 7 siblings, so we consider ourselves the fat 8. Now we're 7, and that's hard. And just death and loss of my loved ones that I just held so dear was just hard for me to deal with. Me knowing who Jesus is, I just had to finally give it to him and tell him, Jesus, I'm suffering and I'm hurting because of what I know has to happen. And so I just had to tell him, just give me peace within myself. I know that everything is okay. I know I shouldn't be stressing or worrying about what was, and just let things be as it is, because I know in all things that he will give me peace if I would just ask for it, that I shouldn't be worrying about it, stressing about it. For them, they're not suffering anymore, and that they would want me to go on. And I asked him for that peace because I wasn't sleeping, I wasn't eating right. It was just me, and I was hurting me, and they're not even here anymore. So I had to ask him to grant me peace and to give me peace within myself for me to deal with the situation at hand. I had to accept what had happened was number one. And then I had to have peace with it and just continue to live and go on, because it was hard. It was very hard for me.